Very good morning, everyone. Very good morning and welcome to today's Unit 4 class. Okay, I hope everyone is keeping fine, doing good. Guys, girls, all of y'all, in our last Unit 4 class, we were in the 2021 October Unit 4 paper. Okay, everybody, in our last Unit 4 class that we did, it has been some time, okay, because we had exams and all thereafter. We did the 2021 October past paper and we have only the last two questions remaining, the dashboard and the essay type question. Okay, so let's attempt that right now. Everybody, I'm going to open up the question paper, 2021 October. Okay, so over here, everybody, up to question 3C, we have done. Okay, creating queries, creating reports, all that, creating charts, all that was done. Where we need to proceed from is question number 4. And something brand new is coming up here, something that I have not done in the class with you all before. Not with me, it's in D1 classroom. It's in the D1 classroom. Yesterday I was there and I kept it there and came. Please, thank you. Okay, everybody, can you all read question number 4? Because on all of you all, normally when it comes to designing a dashboard, what we have been practicing has normally been buttons only, no? This is using completely something else, which we haven't done in class yet. I told you all right, a few new things we will learn when doing past papers. Okay, can you all read this? ISIAS needs a dashboard for the database. Use a list box to do this. Okay, everybody, something new over here. They are saying use a list box to do this. Figure 2 shows the layout of the list box. So this is the box that you have. Try and design something very similar to this. Okay, and then an automated method is needed for the list box. So what do you mean by automated method? If the add a program option is selected, if this option is selected, everybody, if this is selected, the data input form you created in question 1B should open up. Okay. If view program a languages query, if this option is selected, the query you created in question 2A will run, will get executed. Create a dashboard with a list box that meets these requirements. Okay. So everybody, can you all remind me? Let's open up our database window. So everybody, this is our database, the project database that we were working on last time. So we open it up. When we open up this database, guys, could you all tell me what tool we use to create a dashboard? We'll be using a blank form, isn't it? You're receiving input from the user now. When receiving input from the user, we always use a form. So we come into create and we say, you know what? I need a blank form. Okay, everybody, we can work together, right? This is now our third past paper that we are doing. So I don't think you all need to watch and then practice. We can work together. Okay, guys, online. Okay, so we'll go into create and we'll say, you know what? I require a blank form. So over here, we have our blank form. And you guys know you can't do a lot in this particular view. The best view you could go into is design view. Even layout view is a bit difficult to work with. The best would be design view. So everybody, we switch to design view. In design view, guys, before you put your list box, remember that you're designing a what? You're designing a dashboard, right? So shouldn't we mention that? We should be mentioning that. What tool would you be using to mention dashboard? We will be using a label, isn't it? You can't use a text box. Text box is only if you're putting an expression or only if you're creating a new field. When you're just displaying normal text, okay, you will be using what we call a label. So we take a label. In form design, we have various tools that we can use now. We take a label over here. Sorry. And we say over here, dash, Adam, what's wrong? So I put it on WhatsApp. Okay, so I put dashboard over here. Students online, dashboard over here. Doesn't look good. It should look like a dashboard though. So I would like to center align it, bold it, black color font, increase the font size to, I don't know, 18. Okay, maybe underline it. Okay. I would like to clearly indicate it's a dashboard. If you want, you can put an outline for this text box, shape outline. Let's put a light or dark gray outline. Okay, let's increase the thickness of the outline. And guys, remind me to always show you all the marking scheme when we finish, okay? Later on, I realized I never showed them the marking scheme. What did the examiner expect from you to get your marks? So everybody, this is what it looks like. Okay, it looks okay. Right, I'm waiting for you all. Guys online, are you good so far? Okay. Then boys, girls, only thing remaining now is you don't need buttons this time. They have clearly told you that they want a list box, isn't it? So students online, if I have to slow down, if I have to repeat anything, you need to tell me. Okay, Aisha, Kulin, Kodi, Tuwaku. Okay, do let me know. So we come into form design. We come into form design and we take a tool called what? We take a tool called list box. Can you guys locate where list box is? List box is somewhere. Is this list box? It's a page break. Is this a list box? It's a combo box. Is this a list box? Yes, this is a list box. Everyone, when you keep the cursor on top of every tool, it mentions the name of that tool. Everybody saw this? When you keep the cursor on top of a tool, it tells you the name of that tool. So the tool here, it clearly says this is a list box. So shall we do it, guys? I'm going to click on this. I'm going to try and draw it somewhere over here, from here to here. So everybody, as soon as you do that, the list box wizard opens up. Everyone saw this? Your list box wizard opens up. Why don't you all read it to yourselves? How do you want your list box to get its values? I want the list box to get the values from another table, or I will type in the values that I want. Ivan, which one do you think? First one. So these two values, do you think any table has it? If I go with option number one, I need to define the table that has the values for my list box. These are the two values for my list box. Do you really think taking from another table is going to work, or shall we type it in? I think better we type it in, right? Because there is no table or query that has these two values. Okay, so we'll say, you know what? I'll type in the values. I'm going to type in the values. So everybody over here, I will say, I will type in the values that I want. Okay, so we choose this. Okay, everybody, I will type in the values that I want. And now we click on next. As soon as you do that, obviously the next question is going to be, yes, go ahead, enter your values. So what are our values going to be? Value number one will be add a programmer. Add a programmer. Value number two is going to be view programmer languages query. View programmer languages query. Everyone saw the two values? These are the two values that I'm going to put inside my list box. Okay? Careful, there are cables there. But thank you so much. Everybody okay with this? Add a programmer and view a programmer languages query here. Give me a second. Dishant hasn't. Everybody got this? So we click on next. Everybody, can you all get this down? I'll be. Okay, right. So we click on next, guys. We have put both our values. What label would you like for your list box? It doesn't really matter. Okay, what label? But if you want, you can just keep it as it is. You can keep it as it is, call one, or whatever name comes, you can keep it as it is. We are anyway going to change it. Okay. What label would you like? It says call1. I'll keep it as it is. Okay. And I'm going to click on finish. So everybody, when I click on finish, this is what I see on my screen. You can't see the values right now because you're in design view. If you go into layout view, you can see both your values. So let's go into layout view, everybody. When you come into layout view, you can see both your list values are there. Do you really need this label? You really don't need this label, right? Call1, we don't need it. So I'm going to delete it. Okay, call1, I'm going to delete it. Okay, so I'm going to click on call1 over here. Or what you can do is you are deleted it. Okay, no worries. If you delete it also no problem. If you delete it also no one, can you guys try your best to make the list box look like the examiners? Okay, something like this. Okay, let's make this a little shorter and make this a bit narrower. And then everybody around this, I need another box, another label that says what? Select the options you require. Okay, so now guys, I'll try doing that. This select the options you require. I'll try to do that using my existing label. I'll try, we'll see if it works. So what if I bring my label over here, make it bigger, make it something like this. Okay, and I click on my text, center align it, and what do I type inside it? Select the option you require. Select the option you require. And I also bold it and maybe take it down to the, no, that doesn't work. No, I'll have to do, I think, let's try again. Let's put an outline for it. Format, shape, outline. Let's put a gray color outline. Thickness is how much? Shape, outline, line thickness. Let's make it about this much. Now I think it should work. Okay, maybe if I can take this to the next line, that will be great. Enter. No, I can't take it down anymore. Okay, select the option you require. Everybody saw this? Okay, it looks like the examiners, right? Or maybe create a little more space. Yeah. Yeah. You deleted call1 label? Ah, okay. So extend that, make it bigger. Okay, put a shape outline. If you go to the format tab, you have shape outline, right? Everyone, if you click on the, you can use your existing label. If you deleted your label, put a new label. Come to form layout design, take a new label, draw it, type the text inside it. Okay, then go to shape outline and say you need a gray color outline. Okay, come to line thickness and increase the thickness of the line. Okay. Should I come there? Should I come? So guys, you have only done the designing. You haven't programmed how it's working, right? Avish, how about you? You join us later. You are here or not here? Okay, then do the next question onwards. Okay. We are basically creating a dashboard. The dashboard should look like this. 2021 October. Okay. The height seems to be a little too much. Reduce the height. Everybody okay with this? Now we need to program how these two values work. All good, everybody? If you are coming to form view, everybody, when I come into form view, both my values are there, but both of them don't do anything. When I click on them, I'm in form view right now. I'm right now in form view. When I click on them, they both don't do anything. I need to program how they work now. I need to program how they work. Are them done? Vasandu? Everyone okay now? Nadali also okay now? Students online? Anybody having problems here? Okay, then if nobody is saying anything, I'm assuming it's all good. Now, boys, girls, it's time for you to program what other programmer does and what view programmer languages query does. Everybody okay with this? So for this, guys, you need to build events, just like how you program the buttons. Just like how you program the buttons, you now need to program how this list is going to work. Okay, everybody. Now, earlier, in our previous past papers, the buttons were all separated. So every button had only one output. Now here you have a list box with two options, and each option has a different output. Did you hear what I just told you all? Adam, look here. Everyone, question to all of you all. Previously in our dashboards, most of the time we had buttons where when I clicked on it, that particular button performed only one output. But there were also certain buttons where when you clicked on the button, there were two possible outputs. That one button had two possible outputs. Either the chart opens if the user clicks on yes, if the user clicks on no, the query opens up. Do you remember for buttons that had two possible outputs, what did we use? We went to macro, what do you call? We use the if function, right? We use an if function. If the user clicks on yes, perform this, otherwise perform that. Isn't it? So over here also we are going to use an if condition. If the user clicks on the first list item, do this, otherwise do something else. Okay, what to do, the examiner has told us. Examiner has said if add a program option is selected, you should open up the form you're creating question 1b. Otherwise, open up the query you're creating question 2a. Okay, so shall we start programming this? Let's use macro builder. Okay, so everybody, I'm going to right click on this. I'm going to right click on this. Where is it? Design view. Sorry, maybe design view. We go into design view. You right click on your list box and you say, you know what? I want to program this. I want to program. But by the way, what's the name of your list? You need to know the name of your list to program it. Can everyone take a property sheet and see the name of your list box? What do you call form design, property sheet? What is the name of this? My one is called list one. The name of my list box is list one. I need to know its name so I can refer to it. Everybody okay with this? My list box name is called list one. I need to know the name so I can refer to it in macro builder. All right. If you all know the name of your list box, we can proceed. So I'm going to right click now and I'm going to say, you know what? Build event using macro builder. Using macro builder, I want to program how this list box works. Okay. So now everybody, like you all told me, we are going to program it and we are going to use an if condition. If list, my one is list one, okay? If list one, that's the name of my list box. If list one dot, what's it called? List index. There are two values in it now. It's like an array. Do you guys remember in an array, the first value, what's its index number? 0, right? Remember it. Okay, in an array, in JavaScript, we learn arrays, right? I don't know if you guys remember it or not, but the first item, its position number or index number is 0. The next item will be 1. The next item will be 2. So everybody over here, if list one dot list index, if I'm not mistaken, yes, list index, okay, is equal to 1, that means, sorry, 0, is equal to 0, that means the first option has been clicked. Okay, if list one dot list index is equal to 0, okay, what do? I need to open what? I need to open the data input form you're creating question 1b here. So what do? Open form. We need to open form, IJKLMNO, open form. And what's the name of the form? Programmer form. Okay, we open up the programmer form. If list one dot list index is equal to 0, then open the form one, what do you call, form programmer. Okay, you all can do the other one then, no? You can add else, but problem with else is if the user clicks anywhere inside the list box, else will get executed. So rather than using else, I would prefer to use if again. You get it? I'm going to use if again. If list one if list1 dot list index is equal to 1, that means the second option has been clicked, is equal to 1. What do I do here? The query you created in question 2a. So I want to open a query, IJKLMNO, open query. What's the query name? Question 2a. Here, 2a, count of programmers by language. I need 2a to open up. Then guys, girls, you all can click on save. Same thing as well. Yeah. Are we all okay with this? So everybody, I'm going to click on save now, save it, and then I'm going to close it. Sorry? Now let's test and see this is actually working. I'll come into form view. When I come to form view, when I click on add a programmer, form is opening up. When I click on view programmer languages query, not working now. Why didn't it work? We'll see.
My think the list is there, right? It's after L, not after L.
If you put else, why didn't it should work without else also? Anyway, let me try again. Build event. Oh, this is inside the same if condition, isn't it? It has to be outside the if condition. That's a problem we made. Can I move it down? Yes, I can move it down. Everybody, now I think it should work. This is a separate if condition. This is a separate if condition. Previously, what happened? The second option was inside the same if condition. It should work now. Let me see. Save it. Close it. Now let me try it out. Add programmer works. View programmer languages query also works. Okay, everybody, the problem was what earlier? Both options, everyone, my problem earlier was both options were inside the same if condition. This was also inside this if condition. So what did I do? I just came and said to put it out. I clicked on the down arrow and said take it out. Now this is a separate if condition. This is a separate if condition. Shall I annotate and show it to you all? Everybody, this is a separate if condition. This is one if condition. And this is another if condition. I'm having two separate if conditions. Adam, what's going on there? Okay. I'm having two separate if conditions over here. Everybody okay with this? Then we have only one more question before we are done with this paper. Works now? Kosandu? All right. Guys online, shall we move away from here then? Okay, so save and then I'm closing it. Okay, now everybody, there is some work for you all. Screenshots, evidence, all that. Can you all save your dashboard also? Question number 4, dashboard. Q4 dash dashboard. Q4 dash dashboard. So everybody, my dashboard has also been saved. Q4 dash dashboard. Then the examiner goes on to say he needs screenshots Screen print the dashboard in form view. So Windows Shift S. I'll take a screenshot in form view from top to bottom. And I'm going to come and paste it in my evidence document, which is over here. Okay, so I scroll down all the way over here. Oh, I have missed many screenshots, no? Over here. Question 4 is over here. And then screenshot in design view along with any macros or code you have used. So screenshot in design view from top to bottom. And then any screenshots of any macros or code you have used. So I'll right click on this and say build event. Take a screenshot of this and paste it over here. Okay. In the meantime, while you all do that, I want to open up the marking scheme and I want you all to see one by one, did you score each of those marks? Okay. So you all finish your work first and then one by one compare your answer with the marking scheme and see whether you did what they are giving marks for. You all done? Can you all check, guys? Mark number 1, list box added with at least one option. Done now? You have at least one option in it now, you get 1 mark. Both options are given, you get 2 marks. Data input form from 1B opens. If one of them happens, give 1 mark. The query from 2A would open when the option is selected. 1 mark. List box uses correct action depending on option selected for both options. List box uses correct action depending on option selected for both options. Uses correct action depending on option selected for both. I'm a little confused with what they mean, uses correct action. Anyway, I think we have, sorry?
Yeah, selected. You should go to the
correct output. Okay, so but that's happening for us, right? When we click on add programmer, the form opens up as the examiner said. And when you click on view programmer languages query, that query opened up. So we have scored all, this is what the examiner is looking for. And we have scored all 4. Everybody okay with this? Right? Okay. Now everybody all can join us, those who joined us late also. Let's move on to the next question, guys. I'll put a note over here that this was done in class. Okay, so done in class. Okay, right. Let's move away from here then. Everybody, question number 5. User experience needs to be considered during the design and development of a database. An early version of a form has been developed that will allow ISIAS to add the details of a new project. Figure 3 shows the completed form. This is the form that ISIAS has designed. Look carefully at the form and its use when adding a record for a new project. When adding a what do we use this form for? We use this form to add a new record, when adding a new record for a new project. Analyze the positives and negative contributions to the user experience and recommend. So you analyze and recommend how the form could be modified to improve the user experience. What should you consider? Number 1, the appropriateness of the features. Number 2, data accuracy. Number 3, user health. And number 4, ease of use. Type your response in the appropriate place in the template. So everybody, shall we start off with appropriateness of features? The features that you see here, are they appropriate? Are they fit for purpose? Okay, so everybody, let's get started. Let's come down to question number 5. Question 5 is over here. So guys, in terms of appropriateness of features, what features do you all see over here? So I'll give you all a start. I can see a save button over here. Okay, I can also see a close button over here. Okay, I can see buttons clearly indicating save and close. All right. Those are simple options. What else? What are the other features you see here? There is a list. Shall we go from top to bottom? What about the start date? It has a calendar, but end date doesn't have a calendar, right? End date requires a user to type it. So we can make a recommendation to put a calendar also for end date. Then, like Adam said, drop-down menus are available. So users don't type their own values. They simply choose from what is provided for them. Okay. Any other feature you can see over here? Add customer button is available for them to add a new customer. Okay. Any other feature? So we'll first talk about the features that are available, and then we'll provide recommendations of what other features they should include. Not aligned properly, yeah. Okay, that has nothing to do with the feature, no? Which one are you talking about? This one? Okay, I'll take it. I'll say okay. We can mention that. Right. Any other feature you can see over here? There's a drop-down menu to choose your existing customer. Okay, so we are first talking about the features that exist. Okay, then we'll talk about recommendations, what features they should put into play. Okay, right. Shall we get started then, everybody? Okay, we'll first talk about the features available. What did we decide to talk about? We decided to talk about this calendar, the buttons. I'll remove these. I'm removing this for now. I'm just marking so I don't forget. Add customer, drop in. Sorry? I thought of using that in user help. I thought of mentioning that in user help. He's saying, why don't you mention the asterisk to indicate mandatory field? I thought that will be in user help. You're guiding the user on what is mandatory and not. Any other feature? The drop-down menu here. The drop-down menu here. Yeah. So these are the features we are going to quickly mention. Okay. Right. Let's get started, everybody. In terms of appropriateness of features, the form has the following features. Okay. What are the features? Buttons to save and close the form are available. Okay. A calendar has been provided for which fields? Only for start date. No, only for has been provided for the start date field. Has been provided. A calendar has been provided for the start date field. Put comma, no? Comma. A calendar has been provided for the start date field. Next, we can go on to talk about drop-down menus have been provided for the phase ID. There seems to be a problem here, no? They're saying phase ID and the languages are being mentioned. Something seems to be wrong here, but that doesn't come under appropriateness of features, no? We're only focusing on the features. The problems of the data inside it doesn't come under appropriateness of feature. Okay. So what I'll mention over here is drop-down menus. Drop-down menu has been provided to select the phase ID. Next, what do we have? Drop-down menu to select or to choose from existing customers and a button to add a new customer has also been provided. Okay. Everybody, appropriateness, and I feel like this explanation is not good enough. We have to tell how appropriate it is. So a calendar has been provided for the start date field. Okay, this would prevent, this would help users in quickly selecting their, by having a calendar, the format will always be the same, isn't it? Okay, this would ensure that all start dates are recorded in the same format. Drop down menu has been provided to select the phase ID, which would prevent users from typing a phase ID that does not exist. Okay, drop down menu to choose from existing customers has also been provided. Minimizing or severely minimizing or making it has been provided, making it impossible for the user to misspell existing customer names, and a button to add a new customer has also been provided. One second, I'm also trying to, because we have to say how appropriate those features are now. So I'm also thinking buttons to save and close the form are available. How appropriate is that? I don't have much to say. A calendar has been provided for the start date field. This would ensure that all start dates are recorded in the same format. Okay. Drop down menu has been provided to select the phase ID, which would prevent users from typing a phase ID that does not exist. Drop down menu choose customers to choose from existing customers also make it impossible for the users to misspell existing customer names, and a button to add I'll just add here has also been provided, making it very straightforward on what to do if an existing customer, if the customer does not exist in the database. Shall we have a look at the marking scheme in terms of appropriateness of features? Let's see if there was anything that we never thought of. Adam, what's going on? Huh? Why aren't you typing it so? That's what I'm telling you all, come in front. You all are going behind and sitting, and then you all are struggling to read the answer, and then. Okay. I want to have a look at the marking scheme just to make sure I did not leave out anything. Okay. So, you all of you, okay? Shall we have a look at the marking scheme, everybody? Let's have a quick look at the marking scheme. I'm sure there'll be answers we never thought of. Okay. So the marking scheme says in terms of appropriate features, let's zoom in. Where's the zoom in button? Combo box for programming language and customer, we mentioned it. Buttons to save and close, we already mentioned it. It will be good if I can put ticks also, so I know what we mixed. Date picker, we mentioned. Form title, we never thought about form title. Section titles, we never thought about that. Most fields have suitable width. Labels are generally easy to read. Asterisk is, you said asterisk, isn't it? I thought asterisk will come under ease of use. Disable fields to stop accidental change of data. Now guys, obviously we can't take down everything. Okay, we will not be taking down everything. Okay, tell me one more thing that will pick up. I think this sounds like a good point, no? Disable fields to prevent users from changing values that they are not supposed to be changing. Okay, now we can't mention each and everything. We can know about it. Okay, I'll mention also this. And also, is there multiple fields or only a single field? And also, which field is that? Project ID. And also, the project ID field has been locked, okay, since it generates an automated value, preventing users from manually editing this value. Okay, so these are the features that we are talking about. Now, guys, in terms of recommendations, what features would you recommend I put over there? So everybody, shall we immediately mention our recommendations, or shall we mention all that at the end? Mention everything at the end. Okay, we'll do that. Now, appropriateness of features have been spoken about. Data accuracy, guys. What do you all see in terms of data accuracy? Sorry? Phase ID and select language have been switched. Okay. Any other problems? Or anything else that you see over there? Start date, end date. Okay. Address is there, mobile is there. Tell me again. Okay, I'm going to bring this down. Okay. Anything else, guys? I don't see any spelling mistakes over here. Guys, what do you do for data accuracy? Data accuracy has a lot to do with validation rules, right? So any validate now, we can't see if they have put validation rules now, isn't it? We cannot see if they have put validation rules. So we will have to make a recommendation to put those validation rules. Okay, in terms of accuracy, we saw a problem here with phase ID and language. There seems to be a problem over here. Okay, now let me erase all these. Start date is later than the end date. There is a problem over there. Yes, sir. There is a problem with the start date and end date. The start date is after the end date. 16.05.13. There is a problem over here. Now, this is a pretty obvious problem. Let's highlight this. Okay. Then, guys, we all said there is a problem in phase ID and language. Okay. Start date. And then in programmer, guys, they are mentioning the programmer's ID. Okay. Shall I keep that for user? Programmer, better they have the programmer's name, right, rather than programmer ID, isn't it? It can lead to a lot of inaccuracies when we have to select the programmer's ID. Customer, okay, this needs to be brought down. Address, mobile, okay. Right, we'll note down what we know and then we'll have a look at the marking scheme, shall we see? Shall we say? Okay, let's get moving, everyone. We'll talk about data accuracy here. In terms of data accuracy, what are we going to say over here? in terms of data accuracy, the start date and end date of the add project details seems to be having issues since the start date value is a date that is after the end date value. Okay. Next, one second. Next, the phase ID in which area? In the phase details area. Next, the phase ID field in the project details area is recording the programming language, while the select language area seems to be recording the programmer ID. Seems to be recording the programmer ID. Everybody okay with this? The start date and end date we mentioned. Why does this keep going on? Okay. Another problem that we identified is programmer not program ID, phase ID. No, it seems to be recording the phase ID. Seems to be recording the phase ID. Seems to be. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. Further, in the same area, which is the project details area. Further, in the same area, the programmer's ID is being recorded instead of the programmer's name. Is being chosen, we'll say, is being chosen from instead of the programmer's name. So the problem with that is what? Choosing a programmer based on his ID can be difficult for the person filling the form. When we make our recommendations, we will say, instead of when asking for the ID, ask the name, tell them to choose the name. Right. Any other anything else that you all see over here? Okay, so in terms of data accuracy, guys, I'm going to read the marking scheme now and see if there is anything that we didn't consider. Okay, everybody, shall we have a look at the marking scheme? Okay, so come all of you, look over here. The marking scheme in terms of data accuracy, what does it talk about? So Naduli, your point is here, we mentioned this. programming language is underneath the phase ID label. We mentioned this. There is a phase start date. We mentioned this, no? There is a phase start date that is before the start date for the project. We didn't see that. Everybody look at it. This starts on the 16th of May. This particular, everyone here, this we didn't notice, no? This is starting when? 15. Before the project starts, this phase is starting. We didn't notice this, okay? We could have also mentioned that. Next, something else examiner has mentioned. Don't know whether data underneath the select language combo box is for language or perhaps phase ID. What did we say instead? It could be. What did we say? It seems to be here. We said what? Seems to be recording the phase ID here. That's what we said. Okay. Right. Then everybody. Okay, that's enough. Okay, let's move to the next point. So we have missed only one point. No, this point we didn't notice it. Okay, we didn't mention this. Right. In terms of user help, what do you all see? I'll erase everything now. Erase, 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 erase. Right. What do you all see in terms of user help? Okay, asterisks have been used on certain fields to indicate that it's a mandatory field, but have they mentioned what asterisk means? They have not mentioned what asterisk means, no? So in our recommendations, we'll mention that. Okay, right. I'll just put a circle around an asterisk. Remember, I need to talk about that. Right. Anything else? User help. Any help provided for the users? Okay. So, for example, you can see the title of each area in the form clearly indicates what needs to be done, no? Isn't it? Clearly indicates what needs to be done. Add project details. Okay. Anything else? The buttons clearly mention what the buttons perform. Okay. The buttons mention what needs to be performed. Anything else? There is no save button for add phase details. Now, when you click the save button, everything is going to get saved. The save is for the whole thing. Now, is it in the correct place? I'll talk about it in ease of use. Is the save button in the correct place? I don't think so. Anything else, guys, in terms of user help?
You can see the programmer that.
What?
Like,
No. User help, user help. Okay, we'll note down what we know, we are losing time now. And then we'll check the marking scheme thereafter. So everybody, in terms of user help, each part of the form, has meaningful titles that clearly tell the user the purpose of each part or of what needs to be done, the purpose of each part. Next, what do we talk about? Asterisks have been placed next to mandatory fields, okay, to indicate that these fields are mandatory. Anything else? The buttons have meaningful labels, okay? The buttons in the form have meaningful labels on them, making it easy for the user to understand the purpose of the button. Ukram, what's going on there? Making it easy for the user to understand the purpose of each button. Then let's read the marking scheme also. Right, then boys, girls, everybody, let's read the marking scheme. Let's see if there is answers we didn't think of. So in terms of user help, can see titles, we said this, no? They do clearly show where data must be entered and give an indication of what the form and each section is for. Didn't we mention this? We didn't say section, we said part, no? Shall we change the word part to section? Part doesn't sound good. Each section of the form. Each section of the form has meaningful titles that clearly tell the user tells the user the purpose of each section. Okay, instead of part, let's use the word section. Okay, and then finally, in terms of ease of use, in terms of ease of use, what do you guys see? Are the sections structured properly? Why do you say no? You're first adding your project details, then you're adding the phase details, and you're choosing the customer who is Saif, are you with me? Who is who is the customer of this project? What do you think? Customer should come first. Okay, so you can see there is a problem with the order of the sections. Okay, it seems like the customer details should come first, then the project details, then the phase details. Okay, anything else? Tell me again. Save and close buttons are not in appropriate places, right? They have to be in the correct place. Save and close should be next to each other. Anything else? Anything else, guys? Sorry? End date doesn't have a calendar to choose from. Okay, those will be recommendations we make. Start date does have a calendar, right? Making it easy for the user to choose the start date. Okay, anything else? Programming languages can be chosen from a drop-down menu. Okay. Right, we'll talk about those and then recommendations we will write thereafter. Okay, we'll first analyze what is there now. So everybody, what did we decide to talk about? We first want to talk about these sections, right? We were saying that this should come up and this should come down. Okay, then we spoke about the calendar. We like it. Okay, but these fields should also have it. We also like these drop-down menus. It makes life easy for you. You simply choose whichever language you want. Okay, right. Buttons also we have a problem. Okay, right. Let's get moving, everybody. In terms of ease of use, the sections in the form do properly. No, the sections in the form have to be rearranged. In our recommendations, we'll talk about how they have to be rearranged. Okay, to have to be rearranged. Okay, to facilitate an ordered input of project details. Next, guys, the save and close buttons should be placed next to each other and at the end of the form. Okay, then we can say the start date field in the project details section has a calendar, making it easy for the user to choose the exact date. Okay, however, other date fields like end date and phase details date, like end date and start date in the phase details section, do not have a calendar. Okay. Also, in the phase details area, choosing the language of each phase seems quite easy, since a drop-down menu of languages have been provided. Okay. Choosing the language of each phase seems quite easy, since a drop-down menu of languages have been provided. Can we just read the marking scheme so that we know what else examiner thought of? Guys, recommendations, we will not be typing it. We'll be moving on to the next paper. We'll just read the recommendations only. Evan. Okay. Right, everybody, I just want to see what are the other possible answers the examiner has thought of in terms of user help, ease of use. Project details section looks easy to use, as just need to pick 2 dates. Okay, we didn't think about that. Sensible to have, that is the first section. Examiner feels like it's sensible to have that as your first section. We said put the customer details first, no? Okay. Phase details, not as easy to use as programming language and phase ID are confusing. Also could be hard to remember a programmer's ID. Does not make sense to have this section after the project details section. Okay. So examiner feels like the phase details section should not come after project details. Customer section quite easy to use. Only have to pick a customer or click the add button if they don't exist. Label for customer a bit hard to read. Adam, your answer is here. Okay, it has to be properly aligned. Save and close buttons good to have, but does not make sense to have save button right at the top, which we mentioned. We said they should be both together and at the bottom. Okay, right. Now, boys, girls, can we read our recommendations? Okay, no time to type it. Okay, we have to start the next paper. Can everyone read the recommendations? Recommendation number 1 that the examiner has mentioned is make the labels consistent. For example, add a space in start date. Okay, everyone? You can see some labels. Everyone look here. Start date, end date. Here, start date has a space. Okay, here start date doesn't have a space. Okay, be consistent with the way you spell. Okay, next, the next recommendation is what? Add validation to make sure the project start date cannot be in the past. Add validation rules. These are recommendations. What would you recommend the database designer to follow? Add validation to the end date. Add the phase ID field under the phase ID. Okay, could possibly make it a combo box to select the phase number. This could prevent potential problems such as trying to duplicate the phase ID or missing a phase. Okay, so everybody, for phase ID, they are recommending to put a combo box. Okay, all right. Can you guys see date picker? Putting a date picker for the start date. Okay, could also add validate to make sure start date cannot be before the project start date. Okay, everybody, a phase start date cannot be before the project start date. We can add a validation rule, they are saying. Move the language to underneath the select language label. Okay, could use a combo box for the programmer that shows the programmer's name. We spoke about this, right? Not as a recommendation, as a problem, we spoke about it. Moving the label for the customer so that it is in line with the field. Okay, we spoke about this earlier, Adam. Move the save button and close button to the bottom of the form. Okay, we spoke about it. Could add a help button with further help and make sure validation that is added has suitable error messages. Two separate answers here. Could add a help button. Okay, you can have a button for help. Okay. And then another answer here is validation that is added has suitable error messages. When users make a mistake, we should have suitable error messages to tell them what mistake they have made. Okay, so here they are given an example. Okay, everybody, these are some of the recommendations that you all can mention. Okay, everybody, we are not noting it down because we have spent way too much of time on this area. Everybody, it's 8:41. I'm going to give you all a break until 8:50. That's about 8 minutes. And then we come back. Over there. Everyone, all of y'all? Okay. Students online, everyone has it. I put it on WhatsApp in the morning today. Okay, so let's first sort out our evidence file, everybody. Okay, so you all can go ahead of me. You all don't need to wait until I do everything. Okay, so everyone over here, can you all sort out your evidence file? Okay, you need to save the template as your center number underscore candidate number underscore surname underscore first letter of first name. Can everyone do that, please? Make it a habit. We open this up. We go and immediately save it as. Okay, so we go into file, save as. File, save a copy, browse. Where is it? Am I in the correct folder? Yeah. So candidate number underscore center number underscore your surname underscore the first letter of your first name. So we click on save. Okay, everybody. Then boys, girls, can you all fill these details up? Your center name. Okay, whatever your center name is. Your center number. Your candidate number. And your candidate name. Then everybody, can we read the scenario together? So Sandeep owns a company that arranges entertainment for children's parties. A party manager is responsible for each party here. Everyone, I feel like there's a relationship there. A party manager is responsible for each party. A party can have several party items. I feel like there's another relationship here. Party manager and party and items. For example, these could be a balloon for the birthday child, bubbles, an interactive disco. There is a cost for each party item. Okay. Sandeep keeps a list of party managers in a single table within the database party. Okay. So do you all have the database party with you all? Okay. Inside that, you should be able to find the party managers details. Sandeep has provided the party extract text file, which contains some of his records of party bookings. His party booking details are inside a text file known as party. No, known as what, guys? Known as party extractor. So inside this, you have details of his managers. Inside this, you have details of all his parties. Okay. Sandeep is finding it increasingly difficult to keep track of the party dates, the party managers who are responsible for a party, the items needed for a party. He wants a solution that will allow him to manage the system more effectively. So this is where you come into the picture. So everybody, they're giving you the instructions over here. Study these files carefully here. Can everybody open up your database party? And if you have firewall, so let's close the previous database file. Okay, so now when I open up party, guys, I'm going to click on enable content. If any of you all get your firewall warning, click on enable content. Okay, you all should be able to freely edit it. So here, guys, girls, there is only one table here called TBL party manager. Party manager ID is there, the last name is there, the email is there, the average review is there. What does that mean? Average review rating. Okay. And there is a date added, which I'm assuming means when the manager joined the company. Okay, or when the manager was made a manager. I'm assuming. I don't know. We'll see. Then, boys, girls, can you all have a look at the party extract text file? When you all open up the party extract text file, what do we see there? Oh, we see a lot of data there, but you all can see what are the fields you see? Party ID, party date, the contact telephone, the item ID, the item, the cost, and the manager who's managing that party here. Can you all see party IDs are repeating? Why do you think they are repeating? They are done multiple times. Why is party ID repeating? The same party happening on the same date, the same telephone number, item IDs are different, isn't it?
Party that can be.
Very good. The reason the party ID is repeating is because one party can have many items. Okay, look here, balloon and snow and interactive disco and white LED dance floor. Is it clear? One party can have many items. And unfortunately, because of that, the party ID is repeating. Okay, we see severe data duplication, data redundancy here. Okay, so you guys will at some point be required to normalize this particular extractor. Okay, right, everybody, we are going to get moving then. I'm going to close this. Question number one says over here, the party manager table in the party database needs to be improved. A party manager record must only be saved if an email address is present. Set up a presence check so that the email address must be present. So everybody, where do we go in our database to do that? We need to go into design view. And for email address, I need to put a presence check. How do we put a presence check for email? Required for email is going to become yes. Okay, for email field, required will be changed. Right now it says no. So you will change this to yes. You have to fill it. You cannot keep it blank. Are we good? So let's save it. And the examiner says he wants a screenshot in design view. So I'll take a screenshot, making sure that the properties of email are visible. Windows Shift S from top to bottom. And then I go into my evidence document and I paste it over here. Control V. Then everybody, 1A2. So I'm going to say over here that this was done in class. So I'm going to put a text box over here and say done in class. Right. Set up a combo box on the average rating review field so that only 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 is accepted. Can somebody guide me on how to do that? So I'm in average review rating. You need to go into lookup. We don't need a text box. We need a combo box. List box. You need a list box. Where are the values coming from? Are they coming from a table or query? Or will you be typing them? Or are they coming from a field? You will be typing them. So you will say value list, right? It's a value list. So what are the values, guys? These are all numbers, no? So 1, how do you separate them? Not comma. Semicolon, no? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5? Up to 5, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, everybody, limit to list will be allow value list edits, no. And yeah. So that is also done. Then examiner is obviously going to require a screenshot, which I will be taking. Screen print the table in design view. So Windows Shift S, from top to bottom, I'm going to take a screenshot. Control V. Everybody, that is also done. Save it. Okay. Right, everybody. That's wrong. All good. Okay. Then let's go back into data sheet view. Everybody, there is a question here. This is also done in class. Done in class. Then I'm moving down. Sandeep needs a form to enter data about a new party manager. The form must, and they're given you so many conditions. Shall we first create the form and then one by one tick each of these? Okay, everybody. So everybody, I'm going to go into create and I'm going to get the computer to create the entire form for me. So I click on form. Okay, click on form. Okay, now the form has been created for me. Requirement number 1, I don't think I need to wait for y'all. We can work together now, but you all tell me now. You all need to tell me, how do I open it ready for data entry? Saif, any idea how to open it ready for data entry? I want this form only to be used for data entry purposes. I don't want the user to be able to view previous records and all that. So what were we doing? Any idea? What do you think? You need the property sheet, right? Everybody, go into your property sheet. Ensure that you are looking at the properties of your entire form. In your property sheet, ensure you are viewing the properties for the entire form. Over there in the data tab, you will see something called data entry. Data entry says no. Okay, you need this form only to be used for data entry purposes, right? So change that no to yes. I want this form used only for data entry purposes, not for anything else. Okay, so we change data entry into yes. Data entry becomes yes over here. Okay, the moment you do that, whoever is using this form will not be able to view previous records. They can only add a new record. Are we okay with this? Data entry is equal to yes. Right, we're going to move away from here. Ikram, you don't understand what I'm telling you, no? Then everybody, I'm going to move away from here. I'm going to put a tick over here that this was done. Right. Generate the party manager ID, which is one number higher than the number currently used. How do we do that? So this is the party manager ID. Anyone remembers the process? This should automatically generate a value which is one higher than the highest value. The default value, the value that appears without the user entering, we call that default value. The default value. So in the property sheet, can you all see? I'm viewing the properties for party manager ID. I'm viewing the properties for party manager ID. So I come into the data tab and say default value. Okay. And I want to enter an expression. I want to put a mathematical formula for it. So I'm going to click on these three dots. I want to put an expression for it. So we click on these three dots. Anyone remembers the expression we'll be using? We have something called Dmax. Okay, you can find the maximum value in a given domain. Dmax. How do you find it, guys? If you come into functions, click on built-in functions. Okay, click on all. I want to view all the available functions. If you come down to D, can you see there is something called Dmax over here? Here you go. Dmax is here. Can you read the purpose of it? Determines the maximum value in a specified set of records. Okay, so everybody, we take Dmax. Dmax has three questions for you to answer. Expression, which means which table. Expression means which field. Domain means which table. Criteria, there is no criteria, right? They never said increase only even numbers or odd numbers or only records. They didn't give any criteria. So everybody, what do we do? For expression, we have to mention the field. What's the name of the field? Party manager ID without any spaces. In double quotes, party manager ID. Okay, what's the name of the table that it is in? It is in a table called TBL, capital P, party, capital M, manager. And there is no criteria, so I'll remove criteria from here. Find the maximum value in the party manager ID field in TBL party manager. After finding the maximum value, what do we do to it? You want to increase it by 1. Once you get the maximum value, increase that value by 1. Okay, everybody? Once you find the maximum value, increase it by 1. So we say okay. Everybody will say okay. Everyone done with this now? Find the maximum value in the party manager ID field from the party manager table and then increase whatever that value is by 1. This is going to be the default value for the party manager ID field. So I'm going to click on OK, everybody. We click on OK. Let me see if it works. I'll go into form view. It's working automatically. 8 is appearing for me over here. I had 7 records. Automatically 8 is appearing. Okay, guys, going and changing data type to auto number is wrong. Huh? In the marking scheme, they have said do not accept if the user has changed the data type to auto number. That doesn't work. Everyone understood what I just said? Some students, what they do is they go and change the data to auto number. When you make it auto number, what will happen? This will keep increasing by 1, right? Every time there's a new record. So examiner has said don't accept that. They have to put an expression. Right, then boys, girls, everybody. What are we going to move on to next? So this is also done. Only allow the input of the new party manager's last name and email address. Only last name and email address should be editable. So what should I do to the others? Enable or lock it, isn't it? You can either disable the other fields or you can lock them, isn't it? So I take party manager ID, I take the property sheet. In locked, I will say yes, lock it. Don't allow the users make any changes to it. Email and last name I will not touch. Average review rating, locked is yes. Date added, locked is yes. Everybody okay with this? Right. Then everybody, we're going to move away from here. So this is also done. Last name, I'm allowing them to enter. Email address, they can enter. Automatically set. Date added to today's date. So everybody, again, default value for date added will be today's date. So there is a function that can automatically generate today's date. Can you all find that function? So for date added, guys, I'll come to default value. Click on these three dots because I want to put a function inside it. I need a function that can automatically get me today's date. So I'll go into functions, into built-in functions, into all of them, and I'll check. I'll try to find one. A, B, C, D, date. A, B, C, D. The first one, date, what does it do? Returns a variant of type date containing the current system data. Do you think that will fulfill your requirement? Looks like, right? The description of it seems like it fulfills what we want. What does it do? It basically returns the current system data. And the value will be in data type also. Seems good. So I'll take it. I'll double click and take it. Okay. So everybody, for date added, the default value is going to be date function. Let's say if it works, I'll say okay. Now when I go into form view, is it working? It is working. Can you see today's date has appeared over here? Today's date has appeared over here. Should I repeat that for anyone? So go to date added. In the property sheet, the default value for date. The default value for the date will be the date function. You know how to find the date function? Come into functions, built-in functions, take all of them and come down to D. Double click on date. Average rating should be by default set to 5. Average rating, default value should be how much? Default value should be 5. Are we okay with this? Not in double quotes, it's a number, just 5. Shall we check and see? The default value 5 is already selected, no? What's wrong? The default value for average review rating should be 5. Then boys, girls, let's do the last part of adding buttons. What does a button do? So this is done. Provide a button that saves the record in the table. Displays a message to say that the record has been saved. Shall we quickly do that before we wrap up for today? Everybody, let's draw a button over here. Let's come into form design and tool number 4. Tool number 4 is our button tool now. Okay. So I'm going to draw my button over. Everyone, also how I created space now. There was no space over here now. So I pull this down to create space. Now there is space over here. Now I come and say, you know what, give me a button. We take the button tool. We draw it over here from here to here. Do we need the button wizard? Nope, I don't need the button wizard. Cancel it. I'm going to simply say over here, save record. Let's make it look appropriate. Let's bold it. Make the font bigger. And then guys, girls, our last thing for today, screenshots and all, you all can do it as homework. We need to program how this button works. After saving the record, it should display a message. So everybody, we right click and say what? Build event using our macro builder. Okay. Aisha, give me a second. I'll get back to you. I forgot to take attendance. Okay, everybody, Aisha, let me see what you have said. Aisha, I need to see the design view of your average review rating field in design view, the lookup in the table. Can you send me a screenshot of that? Everybody, I'm gonna build my save record button, build event using macro builder. What am I gonna say? First, save record. When click save record, MNOPQRS, save record. And then I'm going to add another action of a message box. Message box. What does the message box say? Your record or record has been saved successfully. Do you need a noise? No need. No need a beep. Everyone saw this? First, save record. Then the next action is display a message box that says record has been saved successfully. Okay. So I'm going to click on save, guys. Screenshots, I'll keep it for you all to do. No, Aisha, it shouldn't be combo box. It should be list box. Yeah. Your display control in lookup should be list box, not combo box. Okay. Once you make the change, it should be okay. Everybody, please save your form. Okay, next week we continue from this point onwards. So I'll say form dash question 1B. Okay, everybody. Form dash question 1B. Okay, everybody. Until we meet again next week at the same time, take care, stay safe. See you all next week. Okay.